Are you finally getting a chance to speak with college coaches at the school you're trying to secure a scholarship at, just for them to tell you they have to go to a meeting, or they say something like, send me your highlight video and I'll get back to you? Well, I hate to break this to you, but they're saying this to get you off the phone or out of their office or out of their inbox. And the reason coaches aren't interested in you is because you're pitching them wrong, or you're pitching the wrong coach entirely. 99% of the athletes and parents I speak to all do the same thing. They send a coach a DM or an email with a subject line that reads something like athlete name, position, class, and then a whole barrage of information about how amazing their athlete is with links to their Huddle and X account, begging the coach to read their email. They do this over the phone too, and coaches can't wait to hang up. Even when I talk to parents who are in marketing or sales, they'll still do this. Why? Because this is what all the big software recruiting services tell you to do. It's what all the parents talk about when they're all sitting together complaining about the portal and how some athletes get all the scholarships, but their son gets nothing, but then won't change what they're doing.
Stop it. Get some help.
And this is also why most varsity football players who have solid game film and at least a 3.0 GPA will not sign scholarship offers. They don't know how to sell or market themselves and then chalk it up to the transfer portal and NIL. But it doesn't have to be this way. In fact, in our 2024 signing class, we placed 100% of our athletes. 83% secured football scholarships and 42% are going D1. Why? Because they decided to treat college football like a business and the recruiting process like a sales process. And while all their peers were focused on blast pitching every coach, working out and going to camps, they were marketing themselves and getting in front of coaches and then actually selling themselves. Doing the extremely uncomfortable and hard things that actually leads to offers that most won't do because of the fear of failure and what other people think about them. They realize that if they're going to become confident businessmen and get good at marketing and sales, they needed a system, coaching and accountability, just like if they were to start a new sales job. So in this video, I'm gonna teach you a concept you can use to sell yourself to any football coach anytime, to move them through the sales process, to watch your video, offer you a visit, and ultimately an offer. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Richie Contartesi, founder of NextPlay, and I specialize in transforming young, driven varsity football players into confident leaders, communicators, and businessmen so they can ultimately secure the best college football scholarships possible. And I make these videos because I understand the struggle firsthand. At just 5'7", 150 pounds, I managed to secure a D1 football scholarship in the SEC at Ole Miss, and now I want to share that journey and the lessons I learned with you so you can live your dream as well. Now, have you ever watched the movie Wolf of Wall Street? Well, there's a famous scene at the end where he asks multiple people to sell him a pen.
Sell me this pen.
It's a amazing pen. For professionals.
Sell me this pen.
Well, it's a nice pen. You can use the pen to write down thoughts from your life so you can remember.
Sell me this pen.
Well, this pen works, and I personally love this pen, and I think this pen...
Do you see how frustrated he was? Well, it's because most people, even salespeople, have no idea how to sell or how to sell a pen, right? And it doesn't start with you pitching. And the reason that I'm making this video is I recently did a call with some athletes and I asked them to sell me this pen. And it was very similar to that clip I just showed you. Everyone was trying to sell me this pen. The problem is none of the athletes actually knew what I wanted. So the first step to selling this pen and ultimately selling yourself so you can get a college football scholarship is to stop selling the pen. Or in your situation, stop selling yourself. Now, Richie, that sounds crazy because you just told me that you're gonna be selling yourself.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Well, the first step is to stop selling yourself. Most athletes, again, send a barrage email selling themselves, or they pick up the phone and tell the coach all about themselves. You don't want to do this because you don't even know if you're the right fit for that coach at all. So instead, when selling this pen, you want to ask questions to understand what that person needs or is looking for in a pen, then you can sell them the pen. It's the same thing with a coach. For example, if I was playing receiver, coach, what are you looking for when it comes to receivers? What style of receiver are you looking for? How many openings do you have? I want to understand exactly what that coach is looking for and why is it important to them. The coach may come back and say, I'm looking for more of a slot receiver who has really good hands. And then I could ask the question like, well, why? And then they'll share with you why they're looking for that, which is so critical and so important. You might say, well, last year we had a lot of drop passes, so this year we really want to focus on receivers with really good hands that can get open across the middle, which leads me to step 2, identify and agitate the pain or the problem. So this coach just shared with me that the problem is they have a lot of dropped passes. Now, if I would have just called this coach and started pitching him on how I go and get up and get the ball and do all these different 4-2-40 and all these things, all of that is good, but that's not what this coach is looking for. What this coach is looking for is someone who's probably very committed, who has really good hands, who catches everything and is really good at going over the middle. So I might ask a question here like, oh wow, how many drops did you have last year? We know that drops is the problem, so now we just want to kind of agitate that problem and really get that coach in a place where he's thinking about that issue so that you can help him solve that problem. It's the same thing with selling a pen. What's the problem? Well, the pens that I currently use now, they constantly go out of ink, and actually when I was getting ready to sign an athlete, I gave him a pen and it didn't work, right? And I know I'm using this as an analogy, but it's the same thing. So once you know more about what this coach is looking for, you understand the problem and have agitated it, now you can provide your solution. So now you can present yourself as the solution as long as ethically you are the solution. For example, if I had called and they said, we're looking for a big receiver who can go get up and get the ball over defenders and we're looking for a red zone guy, like I wouldn't be that guy, right? I would be the guy that I was using in the example before, the small receiver, 5'7", not the small, but really good hands, can go over the middle and not afraid. Yeah, I would be a great fit. But if they were looking for someone big to go get it and a red zone threat guy, then that's not gonna be me. So it would be unethical for me to pitch myself. But you can then say, if anything changes, right, because of the transfer portal, people leave, let me know. Or do you know any other coaches who could be looking for what you have to offer? And as you're pitching this coach, you can discuss what they shared with you. So for example, this coach said, I'm looking for someone with good hands to go over the middle. When I'm pitching him, I'd say, hey coach, over the past 2 years, most of the catches that I made were across the middle. In fact, pretty much every catch that I made on varsity for my team was over the middle. I was the slot receiver. And so that's what they used me for, especially on third down, because I had really good hands. Now your pitch is extremely relevant to what they're looking for, and they're gonna be so much more interested in you. Now, I did promise that I would give you a gift, and so I'd like to offer you a free copy of my book, In Spite of the Odds, where I share in-depth, step-by-step, the system I use to earn a full Division I athletic scholarship in the SEC at just 5'7", 150 pounds. I share a lot of the mistakes I made and the things that I also wish I would have done differently. So I poured my heart and soul in this book, spent about 2 years writing it. So if you'd like a free copy, just click the link below, and all I ask is that you cover shipping. Which brings me to step number 4. Close the sale. So in this example, I'm gonna share with you how to get them to watch your video. I'm assuming that they don't know who you are and you just got them on the phone, or you walked in their office, or you just met them at a camp. It doesn't matter. This is the conversation that you're gonna have with them. And at this point, we want them to watch your video, right? That's the next step in the sales process. I'll throw the funnel up on the screen for you. Just like if I were selling this pen, once I've went through and I told them about the solution and how great it is, I would ask a question like, well, how many would you like to order, right? It's an assumptive, and you'll do the same thing. After you've shared with them your pitch that's extremely relevant to them, they're gonna be interested in you, and you would say, would it be okay if I sent you my video so you can see what I mean? And of course, they're gonna say yes, and you're gonna be a little bit assumptive here and say, perfect, send it right over to them while they're on the phone, have them open the link and watch the video right then and there. The reason you want them to watch it then and there is because now you don't have to chase them around. If they say, yeah, I'll watch it and I'll get back to you, then you didn't do a good job of the pitch. And then you're gonna be chasing them around, right? And that's not what you wanna do, especially if you're targeting 50 to 60 schools. So instead, would it be okay if I sent you my video? They're gonna say yes, and then boom, have it ready to go to send them, and then keep it simple and say something along the lines of, let me know once you have it open, and start playing it, and then you just zip it. Let them watch your video and provide you feedback. Then depending on the feedback that they provide for you, if they're interested, you want to sell them on a visit. And best case scenario, they've watched your film, they actually already know who you are, and they're ready to offer you. This happens more often than not, especially when you're in person. So now you can see that selling the pen the right way, just like they teach in The Wolf of Wall Street, and selling yourself as an athlete is exactly the same. Most athletes pitch themselves to coaches when the coaches don't want to be pitched, when the athlete isn't the right fit. And so the coach will say something like, oh, I've got a meeting and I have to go. Instead, we want to know what this coach wants, then we can properly pitch them. You don't like it when someone comes to your door or gives you a call and just starts pitching you, so why would you do it to other coaches? Now, if you got value from this video and you want to watch more videos just like it, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. And if you want to watch a video that walks through the entire sales process from beginning to end, then you're going to want to watch this video right here.